Hey y'all, um, back with a new video. Um, I think as things are approaching with graduation, I kind of wanted to look back and kind of show the story of how I got here, starting back from like high school all the way down to to now. Except for the whole college experience, I want to make a new video and talk about my college experience at the university. That'll be the next video. But for now, just want to talk about why medicine. So if maybe like similar to an interview question as to why I chose to go into medicine. And that's my story to you guys, and hopefully it'll motivate some of you guys that are in high school, that are starting off in college, maybe at a community college or at a university. Just for some, most of you guys that dream to become physicians and to get into medical school, and hopefully this will motivate you to really power through it and get it done and get that acceptance letter to make a difference. So here's the story. So it all started. I was in high school. My parents were, underserved. The main thing for me at that point in high school was to get a job afterwards and help pay the bills. And I think it's pretty standard for people at that situation. So in high school, I graduated with below a 2.0 GPA. No plans to go to college. I started working at 16. Continued that after high school. I think that, as I continued out of high school, I worked and I was about 20, 21. I went through a bad breakup. But at the time, that breakup helped me, become more, become a better listener, to communicate better. I learned a lot from that. That brought me to my situation when I was about 20, about to turn 21. I was working at a gym. And a lot of the people, there was called Desert Manna up in Barstow, California, that is a rehabilitation center for maybe ex-drug addicts and some homeless as well. And those people were just trying to get their life together. I was working at the gym, and fortunate enough for me, I was able to say, you know what, come into our gym, and if you guys just do a little bit of cleaning, we'll give you like a 3 6 month gym membership. And I told them that I would train them for free, just to see them get better. Because part of your overall health, it's all mental health, it's physical activity. There's so many things that come into health to make you a healthy person. So I took the responsibility to train them, and I got to know them. They shared stories with me. They had kids. They were great people. I spent so much time with them. I had Thanksgiving together. I just, and it was a vast majority of them. It didn't matter if they were African Americans, Caucasians, Latinos. It was just a group of them, and they were just so willing to learn, so willing to change their lives. And I had the best time just getting to know them. And that's really what I started, falling in love with interacting with people, really getting to know them for who they were. And I did appreciate that. As I got to know them more and more, they shared to me the fact that they were being one of the biggest factors that I saw, like a trend with all of them, was that they were kind of mistreated in the medical system, whether that would be physicians to nurses to physical therapists. It just felt like people really didn't take them seriously, and they just felt like cattle, just being tagged and go. Just kind of, no one really took their time to understand who they were as a person, to give them the proper treatment. And I thought that was sort of an injustice. I said, I'm like, I'm over here, you know, like like I felt bad for these people, and I said, you know what, like, that's tough. I want to, like, what do I do? Like, I could sit here and complain, or I could do something about that. And I was raised in my entire life that I shouldn't complain unless I'm willing to change something, and to do something about that. So I said I took it upon myself, to want to help these people. And the first step towards that, I thought, was to get an education, whether that be to become a physical therapist, a nurse, a physician, to really anything. I just wanted to be part of their care, to make sure that they were treated well, and maybe influence the people around me to be like I was. I thought that I could do that. I didn't know how. I knew where I was at, and I knew my destination, but to get there, I had no idea how I was going to do it. But I had this idea in my mind that I wanted to create change. So the first thing I did was, I didn't know anything about college. I'm a first generation high school student, and soon to be next month I graduate, and I would be the first in my family to graduate college. I would be graduating with magna cum laude honors with a 3.88 GPA in biology pre-medicine. Um, so that's a big accomplishment. But at the time, I had no idea. So I can ask my parents. I can ask any of my friends. Didn't go to college. I'm from a small town. Rarely anybody goes to college. So I said, you know what? I drove up to the community college. I had no idea what to do. I was walking around and just had no idea what to do. Um, I stumbled across somebody and they asked me, "Hey, what do you do on campus?" And I said, "Oh, I'm just looking for classes." I had no idea what to say. Like register for class. I didn't know the terminology of things. He said, "You know what? Go up to the administration building, talk to a counselor, and they'll get you signed up." And I said, "Okay." I show up there. I had no idea who to talk to. Actually met a real good friend. He's still a counselor there. His name's Leo Lofi up in Barstow Community College. He, got my stuff. He said, "Well, have you taken your placement test?" And I said, I don't know what that means." He said, "Your English and math, so we know where to place you, and then go from there." I said, "Okay, I don't know." He's like, "Well, do you want to take the test now?" I said, "This is me. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. It's going too fast for me." But he said, "You know what? Just go take it right now." And I said, "Okay." I went there. I scored the lowest in mathematics, the lowest in English, but I didn't know what that meant. So I was like, "Okay, cool." So he goes on. He registers me for these classes. I think that changed my life. From there on, I said, "Okay, cool." I started off at the lowest math. I think I've told this in other stories, and I was learning how to add and subtract at the time. Later did I know. Later I'll be taking calculus and doing well in statistics and pursuing higher education like this. But in the beginning, I was in a class where I was adding and I was struggling. I remember or even multiplication, different divisions of introductory mathematics. I was struggling a lot in, but I would sit there and I wouldn't give up. If I had to spend 6 hours to learn the concepts, I would do it. In the back of my mind. Those people that I had met at the facility that I trained at and that I helped them become better and I got to know them, those are my motivation, and they are to this day. When I struggle in college and something's hard for me, I think about those people. I've lost track of some of them. It's been years, but at the end of the day, those people are my motivation. When I think things get tough, when I think things are really hard on me and I break down sometimes, those are the people that I have in the back of my mind that motivate me to be the person, to be that caregiver, that physician, to give back and to treat those people. So no matter how hard things get, I have that one thing in my mind, in the back of my mind, till this day that I have that kept me going. Um, but anyways, I got through these mathematics, the lowest math you could think of addition. I went to the lowest English, where we're learning how to make sentences. And at the end, we made a paragraph. That was like the end of the first semester of that English class. So I worked my way up through community college. Um, I went off, I transferred to the university, and that's a story I want to tell next, my next video about my whole, experience at the university. I think that would be really entertaining to tell you guys. And finally, to being admitted to medical school, um, getting my acceptance letter to was one of the, I can't even describe it. It didn't seem real still to be accepted to a medical school. With my background, it just kind of seems like, like, wow. I always knew I could do it. I just didn't know how it would happen or anything. It's like a dream come true. It's one of those things where um, I can't, there's no way to describe it, to be accepted, to know that people believe in you, that you're going to be a physician, that trust in you, that believe in your dreams, that support you. Um, it's an amazing thing, and I feel like anybody that's in it for the right reasons, and I've told this to many people, I've never met someone that has gone to college and that truly wanted to be a doctor or physician for the right reasons that didn't make it. I don't know anyone. I've met people that have changed their minds, or maybe they thought the class was too hard, so they dropped, but that's because they never really were in it. They weren't in it to really help those people. But everyone that I've known, I've been in school with plenty of people that all of them made it. They made it. If it took them a little longer, had to do a post-bac program, do extra research, whatever they had to do, as long as, they got into a medical school, they did succeed. So that's my story. Um, you know, Hopefully that kind of gets you a little motivated to keep going. And I said in my next video, I think I will post about my college experience and what I had to do to succeed up to my graduation that's coming up next month. So thank you for watching.